Gold medal Keith.
Oh, man. What an entrance. Love it.
Gold medal Keith. What'd you think?
I love it. There's a couple gold medals that I love. Number one, I love Katie Ledecky calling her bronze medal U.S. teammate up onto the top podium with her. I love Scheffler crying. And I love the two Americans last night that won the 1500, came in first and second. Man, that was a great race. Oh God. That's what makes the Olympics great. You know, I'm a little Biles and Lyles are a little too much for me, but these other ones, man, the stories are so good. And
Lyle's a little much. Some of his press conferences are questionable, but the Hawker and 1500 meter was like a 4x100 Phelps moment. It was awesome.
Oh,
it was awesome. Man. It was awesome to watch live.
Really good.
Quick takeaways from the Olympics. Anything from golf?
Oh man.
Did Scheffler say, you know what, I had enough of the Xander and I'm just gonna like remind you who I am?
You know, I mean, I've been around golf a long time. That switch really isn't there. But Scheffler is that talented. I think that, golly, when something, I mean, he lost strokes putting
again,
and he won by one. I mean, the bigger story there is Rahm. Like, what happened? I get that he gets the double cross long left miss when he's bad, but like he cruised through, you know, all but 8 holes, 64 holes, and he had a 4-shot lead, and he got beat by 10 by Scheffler on the last 9 holes. Like, it wasn't like Rahm was like piecemealing it together on the front. He shot 31. And if Rahm had been good in all of the majors and that happened, I wouldn't think twice about it. But the fact that he was so good at Royal Troon, and then he wins London, and then he's leading this thing, and he's like steamrolling the field, and then all of a sudden there's like, you talk about like flipping a switch. Like, all of a sudden he went to like, I don't have any confidence. Like, I'm Wyndham Clark or something in the first round. You know, like, it was crazy. So I take more out of the Rahm thing.
Do you think it's reps? I mean, the live people were like mocking it, like, "Oh, Rahm's beating the entire field on Saturday. Screw your reps argument." Then I thought, well, there's one more day left, guys.
Yeah. I'm not so sure because, you know, he was great at Royal Troon for 4 days, and the conditions were so brutal there for him for 4 days and his wave that I would say that I don't necessarily buy into that. You know, I mean, if you said mental reps and he's used to like closing things out in 54, but he just wouldn't think like that. I think it's reps against great talent is the problem, right? And that's not to say that Terrell Hatton and those guys aren't good, but you know, the winner this week at Sedgefield Country Club could win any live event in a heartbeat, and I don't care if it's Ben Coles, right? Like that the level and the depth is far greater. And I don't know, man. But Scheffler's impressive. If you and I were having any conversation about him and Xander for Player of the Year, that's over. And now there's one last test for him to pass. Go ahead.
No, I mean, what was the last test to pass? Was the
he 2 years in a row he's lost the Tour Championship. You know, Rory first and then Victor second when he should have won both.
Yeah. And Xander loves Atlanta.
I mean, so he won't lose Player of the Year if he loses the FedEx, but I'm sure he's focused on that. And
he won the Comcast Tour Business Top 10. What are you talking about?
You know, speaking of which, why is Shane Lowry in Wyndham for a Hurricane? Like, why? He's number 10 on the list. Like, he doesn't need that bonus money.
It's a perfect withdrawal.
And he's got 3 straight weeks of like brutal, like Memphis at 90, right? For a heavyweight Irishman. And then he's going to go to Colorado where the air's thin. And then he's going to go down to Atlanta where it's probably going to be even hotter than Memphis. I mean, I got to go to all 3. So like, that's what I'm preparing for packing wise, you know? I mean, I need like,
it's like Horschel 3M. It's like, is he even there right now? Is Lowry even on site in Greensboro? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, especially with like the weather and everything, like, hey, call me when you're going to start.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of if Shane Lowry actually withdraws I mean, that was 15% Horschel at the 3M, right?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't I wouldn't gamble on Shane Lowry this week. I mean, you're exactly right. Why would he play?
No way. No way. I mean, that'd be like taking Spieth this week. That's
wrist surgery.
I mean, I've been telling you that he doesn't like hitting shots off the ground for how long?
Yeah.
Since you and I have been doing weekly shows and Spieth is up, the conversation is always, I say to you, what is Spieth good at? You say he's good off the tee. I say, because the ball's sitting on a perch. I use that exact word all the time. Perch,
but when he's got to dig to the ground, it's
and it's leaked into his putting. He's not a bad putter. It's just he puts so much pressure on his putting that it's finally, like everything's imploding. And a lot would have to go wrong for him to not make the playoffs, but there's no way that guy gets signature status. And there goes Webb Simpson's, sponsors exemption for every week next year in the signature events. So, because Spieth's going to be there. He has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's like Ricky Fowler.
Yeah. I mean,
that one's over too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you think, going back to the last thing on Olympics, talk to Andy about this Monday, would you think, he raised a good question, would you think that Scotty Scheffler would trade his gold medal for the claret jug right now?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, because the gold medal is once every 4 years. So it's not just about form, it's about age and timing and everything.
He's got he's got 2 or 3 good ones left.
Yeah, I mean LA obviously, but he's got
age-wise, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. He's got maybe 2 more Olympics, and he didn't make 21, right? Which would have been a prime age for him. So he's already missed 1. You think about that Colombian wrestler, the guy that's the only guy ever to do 5, and he retired from wrestling. Yes, do you see that clip? You would have loved this. You would have reposted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
The guy, he takes his shoes off on the mat and puts it on the center. He won 5 straight Olympic golds, and it's never been done before in any event. Like Ledecky did 4, and Phelps, but he's did 5. Scheffler maybe has at the most 4. I mean, it's hard to qualify, and I don't think any of those guys would give up a gold medal for a major that they get 10 more tries at, for sure.
Yeah. And if there was any question as to whether or not this means anything to these guys, Scheffler's, his emotions on the podium kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Even Tommy's facial expressions, a lot of people forget Hideki was in that playoff in his home country for bronze, and he didn't win.
Yeah.
So that was kind of righting the ship there. That was nice for him. You could see the expression on Rahm's face when he made double on 14 on the par 5. He was like, oh, and then, Rory putting it in the water on 15 with a gap wedge. I mean, that was 2024 Rory in a heart, microcosm of McIlroy.
Roy,
yeah. Little tin cup.
Well, go to this week. Are we getting, you're not in Greensboro right now, but are we getting 4 days of golf? I don't think so. I mean, the earliest they can probably play, realistically, is going to be noon on Friday at best. I think at best.
So okay, I have to go into golf tournament mode for a moment, right?
Right.
The rules state that as long as everyone has a chance to finish on Monday, right, they will extend to Tuesday, type of thing, right? So, they're going to do everything in their power to do this, because this isn't the 3M. This isn't Mexico, right? This is the last week to determine not just the 70, but the 125 for the fall and all of these things, right? Yep. Comcast top 10. And you get you get the marketing spree on all of this, right? Yep. They need all of that data, and most of the guys that are there aren't going to Memphis, right? So, there's only 21 guys in the top 50 in the world even there. So they're going to do everything in their power. You can't see them playing golf on Thursday, right? They can get 36 holes in a day once they make the cut. Now, the weather looks pretty good from noon Friday on. And golf course is just going to be super soft.
Yeah.
Not super windy at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Probably humid as hell when the water comes out of the ground. So it'll be Lucas Glover in Memphis last year.
They may get 27 holes in for guys on Friday, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they get one whole round in by Friday, right? They'll be okay. Um, I don't know if you guys talked about this on Monday. I was busy on Monday afternoon. I try to listen every week, so you and I aren't redundant. But it's a big factor this week. Everyone says, "Oh, you got to hit the fairway. You got to hit the fairway. You got to hit the fairway." It's a big factor any week that you play lift, clean, and cheat or place. Sorry, if you play lift, clean, and place.
No, cheats what pros say. That's what.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's like cheating, right? So, like, if you get your hand on the golf ball at any time and you can create your own lie, I mean, forget about it. So, like, now there's a couple things that when you look at this field, and I'll transition into, like, the breakdown. Like, so everybody wanted guys to hit the fairway. Everybody wants those super approach guys because everybody gains a ton on approach here and everybody gains with the putter here, and they weren't favoring around the green. Well, I mean, I would lean a little extra on that hitting the fairway, because not only is it like, let's say it's a 30% advantage now, it's probably
it's a free square. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like super high if you're in the fairway. And then if you're like a really good driver of the golf ball, so you're further down and you're in the fairway, then man, you really have an advantage in this field, because anywhere you hit it on the green, that thing's not moving. It's going to sit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you not only have you elevated your advantage or your edge from the fairway, but you've elevated your advantage once you hit the green, because you have a shorter club, it's clean ball, and it's going in and it's stopping.
Right.
So, like, those are the things I would take into account. And if they have to play in any of this bad weather, then you better believe that guys better be able to scramble, and like Royal Troon type scramble, like really scramble, Bermuda scramblers, guys that could hit shots into the green, with the grain, high, low, skitters, lobs, packed wet bunkers, all that kind of stuff. So, like a Billy Horschel type of guy, those types of guys, a Mac Hughes type of guy, you know what I mean? Guys that can really scramble might be a huge consideration where they normally might not have been, because under normal conditions, you're not really worried about around the green play here. And I think it's going to be a consideration now.
Off in 3s and 1 and 10 on Friday. Yeah, 100%. I believe that's going to be the case. Get as many guys on the golf course for as many holes as possible on Friday.
Well, that would be normal on Friday anyway.
You're right.
I mean, they'll probably be doing 3s off 1 and 10 for the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Or the only time I could, if the weather forecast, which I looked at about 45 minutes ago in prep for this, they're expecting 5+ inches of rain on Friday.
Right.
And then it tapers off on Friday morning. Thursday, sorry. That much water in the golf course. I mean, it's a lot, but they can still play because they can. Only. Yeah, but they can still play once it stops accumulating more and more water, right? So they can play within an hour or two after that rain stops, and then they're just going to get as many people out there as they can and play as long as they can for as many days as they have to. But yeah, I foresee this thing going through Monday. And to answer your original question, I foresee them playing 4 rounds. Everybody loves to I used to run tournaments all the time, and it would be like the rain forecast on a Tuesday for like a Saturday shot would be like, "Oh, pro, we're not playing on Saturday." I'm like, "Hey, everyone pump the brakes," right? Like, we're playing on Saturday. Wrap your heads around that. And if you don't want to play, then just withdraw. But we're playing, right? And they have to play this thing. And this is like, it's the Masters or something. It's like it's going to happen. It's the players.
I thought about you the other day when I was playing my course here in Lexington, and the pro was driving around the course, and he came up to me and said, "You cannot drive the cart in the fairway today." And I didn't see the signs. And I was like, okay. And deep down, I had this raging hostility towards him that he would say that to me like that, the way he did. And then I thought, you know what? Keith Stewart would never have approached me like that and said it that way. He would have his own tact.
Yeah. I've learned over the years from some great mentors how to handle those types of situations. They stink, but
it stinks, but
you got to protect the field. But at the same time, you could do it as a gentleman or, with some civility. But
so to me, do you have any? So if I was saying, do you have any sort of consideration for these 3 things? One, the travel, because there is the 3M, there's the Open to 3M to France to Greensboro narrative to the top 70, which if there are two players in the top 70 line, I think that's a consideration, but almost every single player above and below that line is in this field. Do you give consideration to those two things this week? And how much do you give consideration to?
The first part of that question, I don't know the answer to, because I didn't look at if anybody went from 3M to Paris to here. I know 16 guys went from Paris to here.
I think Grillo.
Oh yeah, he would have. That's for sure. Yeah. And 3M was his best one so far.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the top 70 thing far outweighs the fatigue factor from France and Minnesota and everything. These guys have a pretty solid routine. And if anything, you could have chose to have more free time in France, because I am sure there was, not as much access to the golf course. I mean, like there's probably a lot of things going on there that restricted what you can do. And you were just like, all right, I'll sit in my hotel room and just, I can rest. I don't have to go watch, women's beach volleyball or something, so.
Well, that's kind of not something you have to be forced to do.
I put that out there like pushing your button.
Okay, thank you.
I knew I'd get a reaction. Just for JG. I think the top 70, I think everyone's got something to play for this week. I'll use Matt Kuchar as an example. Matt Kuchar is the only player that still has played in every single FedEx Cup playoffs. He's the only one. It's like 17 straight. And he's 142 on the points list.
Nearly won at 3M.
And he needs to win in order to get in, right? So even he's motivated to do something this week. If you're Cam Young and you're 35th, you want to make sure you get into the Tour Championship. Yep. A win this week would guarantee that. If you are one of those guys like Spieth or somebody sitting in the 50s, like an Aaron Rai, who's a very popular guy this week, he's 53rd. He would want to get to the top 50 in signature status, because that means so much to his career right now and the money factor and everything. So everyone's got something to play for. I don't think the fatigue factor means much at all to me. To me, it's more like who performs well under that kind of career pressure. Who can go over to France in their home country and go ballistic on Sunday and almost earn a medal as the one Frenchman there that performed and the other one didn't, right? You and I were all over Perez.
Yep.
He's 71 on the points list. I feel like if that guy can handle France, he can handle this. And I would like his chances. So, but I think that the points thing is a huge factor.
Grillo, Schmid, you, and Toasty. Those are the four. There may be more. Schmid has been phenomenal. He was on the winning lineup in France. He was really good in Blaine, Minnesota, tee to green. And he played well at the Open. So that's one. And again, all these guys are on the line too. Even guys you think that, if you look at the FedEx Cup standings now, even the guys you think that should be clearly through are not. Winners on tour. It's such a tough test now. That's why you see some of these guys' careers just gone. Guys you used to, Harry Higgs and all these guys that used to be regular tour stop veterans are just not there anymore. A lot of these guys that you don't see make the top 125 or even top 70 are going to disappear.
I got the perfect name for you.
Yeah.
18 weeks free of Keith Mitchell, and I don't have to worry about week 19.
No, he's there, baby.
He's not making the playoffs.
No, he's not. Does he have exemptions now for winning? No.
That was 2019.
Bro,
he has to have a well, he'll be in the top 125 as long as he has an above average fall. He'll get his back. But there's a guy right there that we talk about every single week on this show. Right. And he's not in the top 70, to your point.
Corn Ferry is definitely in his sight lines.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right. Go to the top, though. Listen, I said it to Andy on Monday. I know you didn't watch, but I believe M is in this zone right now where he's clearly the best golfer in this field, just from and on soft conditions where it's going to be a lot of scoring, and he's just vibing right now. I just feel like he's so close to a win. Tell me why he doesn't just smash this week.
I can't do that, but I can tell you why he does. I love to do a deep dive on 70, 71, 72 scoring. Yeah. And by far, he's the leader in par 70 scoring in this field in recent history. So, I mean, his number keeps going down. That keeps telling you what people feel about it. His betting number. The second guy on that list in par 70 scoring is Webb. And a lot of that's going to be attributed to, the fact that he plays in, a lot of majors.
What was his last name?
Simpson.
Oh, Webb Simpson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like you wouldn't know. But, the other guys on that list are guys like Lucas Glover. I mean, the guys that are the best ball strikers that play good on par 70 golf courses, they score on par fours. I mean, all of those analytical lists are going to, weave amongst themselves. And then it's just going to always be Sung J M, Sung J M, Sung J M,
right.
I don't know what else to say. And then he's got the course history to go along with it. Everything about what you need to do there. And if you get ball in hand, it even makes him more elite. So I can't say why not to play him. I certainly can say why to play him.
Yes, exactly. I'm there with you. I am concerned about Lowry. He's also played a lot. He played in the Olympics.
I just wonder why he's there.
Yeah, and wondering why he's there. It's like, why is Horschel at the 3M? Why is he there? And sure enough, he withdraws, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Shane withdraws, and maybe he does. I don't know. But, is there anything that he did at Paris that makes you all of a sudden think, he's going to come over here and play that much better?
Yeah, is this his focus right now, right? M, I think would like a win with Willie. It's been a minute for him.
Yeah.
I think, and of course he has course history yet. I think there's a narrative for me for that.
Sure.
So I think in the top class of talent in this field, Siwoo Kim maybe a little different story for me. Good course form one here, right? Donald Ross course, maybe not the form of an M. M has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count 6 top 10s in his last 11 weeks.
Well, yeah, M's had 2 seasons, pre-Masters and then post-Masters. He's got 9 starts and 7 top 12s or something. And it's insane.
He's there. So, I mean, I guess the other one that I feel is a little underpriced and maybe overlooked. Another question as to why he's here is Brian Harman, but I think M and Harman are the 2 best golfers in this field.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just talking about pure talent, I certainly can't argue against that. I might argue alongside that Cam Young has that level of talent.
Mm-hmm. But
I'll just say it. I like Cam Young this week. I think this is a good spot for him.
Why? Because the conditions?
Conditions is a big part of it. And I just feel like for that guy to break through, it's going to be one of those odd weeks where all the focus can't be on him, and he certainly would have a huge advantage on that golf course. The way he drives the golf ball, the way he's been playing lately. I mean, the guy shot 59 a month ago. Do we not remember that? But no, everyone wants to talk about him collapsing at the Rocket or his 8 different runner-ups. And I get all of those narratives, right? But at the top of the list there, for guys that can really score and ramp it up and get, again, what's the average winning score here? 20 under par. Lucas Glover did it last year, right?
20 under. Week, right.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to be tough conditions. They're going to play 75% of this tournament on a soft, wet, humid, sunny golf course. Right. Maybe overcast, but maybe that's hyperbole. But you know what I mean? Those are the guys you need. They're not going to play it on Thursday in 5.5 inches of rain in a monsoon. out there with like Jim Cantori in the fairway working for the Weather Channel. It's not going to happen. Like they just won't play.
No,
but they
won't.
can still play enough and get done on Monday night. So like, yeah, they're going to play this thing. So wrap your head around the fact that who can go out there and throw darts and put it in the fairway, live clean in place, throw darts, and then make 10 to 15 footers on grainy Bermuda, right? Cam Young's a good Bermuda putter, right? He's a very good approach player, and he's an excellent driver of the golf ball.
Yeah.
And, over the course of his career.
Of the golf ball.
Oh, elite, 100%.
Decent wedge player, but I think that's been his Achilles heel.
Yeah, I mean, the last time they played in conditions like this was TPC Potomac 2 years ago when they moved to Wells Fargo, right?
Yeah.
And super tough course, and Cam came in second there, and he putted horribly. Yeah. So like, I mean, if the guy just putts relatively well, he's going to be right there in the mix.
How many career wins does Cam Young have?
0.
Right. He needs to get one.
He does. He's deserving of one. We'll put it that way. He's a good enough player to get one.
I don't think he goes the way of Zalatoris and kind of just, wipes away.
Well, Zalatoris has to change his entire golf swing because he had too much side bend and he hurt his back, put too much torque on it. All right. So like when you're at address, this is forward bend, right? And then when you come through, or when you go back, you're leaning this way. So you have side bend, right? And then when you come through at impact, you have side bend again, right? So like with that much, if you go look at him or Joaquin Neiman or Akshay or whatever, all those guys, but not only are they turning this way, but they're turning this way, right? And that puts a ton of torque on your back. Well, look at Tiger since his back fusion. His golf swing totally changed. He looks more like a robot now. That's the way Zalatoris has to learn to swing, and he's going to do that in a year? I don't know. That's where the problem is there. Like Spieth and his wrist. We've been talking about this. There is a problem there, right? You can't just ignore the problem and be like, oh, he's great value at 7,100. No, like he's broken,
There's no way Neiman at some point in his career does not have issues with his back.
Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. I mean, those guys are they're bent like this inside bend at impact. Akshay's the same way.
Yeah.
And once you do that, it's fine. And it makes you a really good ball striker. I mean, the common theme there amongst all those guys is they're incredible ball strikers, right? They're in a great position with tons of leverage and tons of shaft lean, but like your body's just not built like that. And some people are more wiry than others, but obviously those guys aren't, and they're hurt. And Cam Young, I mean, you have every reason to think, again, the guy grew up in the Northeast. He's played $1 million Ross golf courses in his lifetime, right? Yep. He's played in bad weather. He went to college in North Carolina. So he's familiar with the ACC style of golf courses. He's probably competed there a bunch of times. So he knows the golf course. So the fact that he's a rookie there, I don't buy into that narrative at all. And he's good in bad weather. So, he's been good in the Open Championships. He was good at TPC Potomac. He's had really good rounds in soft, sloppy conditions. So
two top tens, Rocket and Travelers, prior to his decent showing at the Open. I mean, and he's typically very good at the Open. 2 weeks off, and I mean, here's the other two that are stripers and have been playing amazing, but gone a little quiet. Are Aaron Ryan, Batia. That's the other range of price near Cam Young that I would be concerned about as to whether they outplay him.
So
I'll gamble no.
Rye's only been quiet because he played in the Open and he came in with as a huge darling to everybody in DFS, and then he came in 75th or something.
Correct.
But if anything, he's well rested. Before that, he had 3 straight top 7s. I mean, that's pretty good. And then Akshay,
3 missed cuts here on a course history type course.
Yeah. He's definitely a different player than he was 3 years ago.
True.
2 years ago. Although last year he would have came in here with a win. Maybe that's why he wasn't paying attention, because he would have won the one.
Maybe he hates North Carolina.
Yeah, he only grew up there. Yeah, he did. He grew up in North Carolina.
That was a test. Good job.
Yeah, there you go. Even near that area, though, he was grew up near the Charlotte area, I think, which is right near Greensboro. I don't know about Batia.
I'm still not sold on picking him. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Rye's a great choice. And I think there's a lot of interesting people down, like further down the betting board in like the 70 to 100 range. You know?
Grazerman on the line, played great 3M, nearly won. A dog, by the way, an absolute dog. Grazerman.
Yeah.
And the little I saw about him, his shot on his approach in 18 in Blaine, Minnesota, TBC Twin Cities, not a Twin City, was through the trees when he was going for the win. Was one of the most incredible things I've seen from a, not a star on the tour yet.
Yeah.
So I became a huge Grazerman fan after that. Thank you.
I was talking to this is gonna be an awful flex, but it's a true story. I was talking to his New Jersey State 4-ball winning partner yesterday from 2014.
Jack Nicklaus.
And his name's Jim Rosenthal, but that's neither here nor there. And that was the year that Max won the New Jersey State Open title at 19 years old.
Yeah,
back in 2014. And we were just talking a lot about Max and that shot in particular and everything. And he had spoken to him since the shot, and he just said, "Hey, man," he's like, "I looked at it like I had to go. Like I'm not playing for second. Like I need to win. This is what I need to do," type of thing. And you got to admire that, Yeah. And it's further proof that these guys, all they do is aim at the flag, right? Yeah. Like they have they could care less about second place. They don't even care, I think, if their career's over. Like the modern pro, like that kid, like he is so just aggressive.
Look at them all: Clanton, Shipley, Fishburne, Grazerman. It's next man up, but to a level like we've never seen before. It's every week it's a new guy.
I mean, I would say everybody since like the spring break 2K kids, the Ricky, Justin, like look at Cam Young, look at Zalatoris. I mean, look at all these kids when they come out, they are just like right at the flag, and they shoot these crazy numbers on Korn Ferry. Nobody pays attention to Korn Ferry, but you got to shoot like
Meissner, Schmid. Smalley is a dog.
Oh yeah, yeah. Duke guy. He's got to be close to like Andy's age. I wonder if they went to school together.
He was kind of smoking him on Monday. Well, Duke in general. It might have been Smalley. Yeah. So okay. All right. Fair
anyway,
enough.
So in that range, I think there's some value.
70 to 100 guys in terms of betting.
Yes. Who is? I mean, I like guys like Eric Cole. You always ask me for like,
I think Eric Cole's winning. TBQH.
I feel like somebody like Taylor Moore. I mean, for the life of me, if you're an analytics guy, you would never pick Taylor Moore, right? But like, you need to tell me how he comes in like 12th at the Masters, 20th at the PGA. Yep. His last two stateside starts are like, top 12. He was 12th at 3M, 10th at Rocket, or vice versa, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and the guy
5 year.
Yeah. So you take a guy that can clean the golf ball, maybe hit the ball a little bit more solid, doesn't have a bunch of squirrely lies in the fairway or the rough on a shorter golf course. He was 14th here last. I think, was he 14th here last year?
Yeah. He could smash it.
Yeah. He's good. There's a guy, he's great on Bermuda grass, positional golf courses on Bermuda grass. You got to play this guy. And, I feel like there's a lot of value to be found, and those guys would then be in the 7,000s in DFS, right?
Like Steven Yeager, same guy. I mean,
Yeager was interesting to me. I wanted to really see something more out of him in Paris because he was bad in the Open and the Scottish, right?
Yep.
And I wanted to see more out of him in Paris because I was thinking about him because he's been good here before, and I was thinking ahead to this point, but I don't know that I saw a ton of great things in Paris, but for his value on the DFS board, so be it.
So you would value off the tee with lift, clean and sheet, and the length of the course, and just some of these big drivers of the ball a little more this week.
If I had to choose between Cam Young and Billy Horschel or something, I might go after the Cam Youngs.
Yeah,
because he'll have such an advantage for driving.
Another one there, Svensson.
Oh well, yeah, he's definitely. I mean, him, and we didn't get down there yet because he's triple digits in betting. But there's two guys down there that I just absolutely love, and Svensson's one of them. Svensson's one of those guys. He's gonna pop on Bermuda. He's gonna pop when you need 20 subpar scores, Okay, check. And then
Absolutely.
he's always going to pop on par 70 scoring. The guy destroys par fours, right? And like that's just like, oh, there we go. Like it's time to play Adam Svensson, and so he would definitely be somebody that would be under most folks' radar because he's been kind of like average lately. But those are the things that elevates his floor, and so he would be a guy. The other guy, we played him at 3M, and it worked out. Because his approach has been so good and he's now gained in 4 straight with his putter, but that's JJ.
Yeah, Spawn.
And
early later at 3M.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was following Discord and he went out like birdie or something like that, and like you could always tell like because like Discord sits on one of my monitors and it's always running, right? And sometimes it just kind of goes like do like our comments right now, like in the show, right? But then like if something's happening, it's like boom, 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 like it's just running, And I was like, oh, what happened? I look over there and everyone's like, Spawn. I was like, oh man, that's great. I get very happy when we find these value guys for the DFS Discord, and then it gains those guys the opportunity to make a lot of money. So that's why I love doing this. And I think Spawn is in a perfect spot right now. He's had a lot of great finishes. He's gaining with the putter, and the guy with Live Clean in place. And he's like second or third in the field in approaches from over 200 yards. So those long par 3s, the par 5s, I mean, this guy is like super live this week to get it done. And, you go back to where he won at Valero. What do you have to do at Valero? You got to drive it in play. You got to be a great approach player. And then you got to score a bunch of birdies, right? Like,
yep.
Do we do that here? The only difference between those two places would be Bermuda grass, right? But like, Spawn's been okay in his career on Bermuda grass. And the fact that he's, cycling up in the approach and the putting category would make me continue to want to play him at his value. So I bet him.
The other triple digit, he's not triple digits, but I'm surprised you may have jumped him unless you got him triple digits, was Ben Griffin.
Ooh, yeah.
It's your guy.
Yeah, I know the burn from 3M. Sometimes,
That's what have you done for me lately?
I mean, last year at 3M, I took Glover. I bet Glover at 3M, and he missed the cut. And everybody was like, oh, here we go. And then what do you do in Wyndham? You won. And then what do you do the next week? And you won. So it's like, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying like this is what I do. Like it's.
I mean, the best course history in the field is Webb Simpson.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not even the best course history. I mean, the guy is like he's got the parking spot for the club champ.
He dominates here.
He's got like 6 straight top 10s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top 10s since 2014 and a withdrawal.
Yeah, the withdrawal was probably like he was hungover. So I don't know, like.
And he won. And by the way, he won.
Yeah, I mean, Wake Forest grad, by the way. I think that.
By the way, there's no way Webb Simpson was ever drunk. Ever.
You're probably right. He was probably like Bible class ran over or something. Like Tesori didn't get him
Bible
to the golf course.
Ran out of Bibles.
Yeah. So he wanted to hand copy his own for somebody sitting next to him in class.
He wrote out his own by memory.
Yeah. Right. Let's do Ecclesiastics today. All right. Yeah, I'll write mine.
Who's the other triple digits?
Those are the two, Svensson and Spawn.
Okay.
But I mean, there's other guys that are further down the board. I'm sure we're going to get to the 6s, but. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah, we're getting that time anyway.
Dirty Chestnut Hadley?
No, he's too cliche this week.
Zach Blair, Zach Johnson.
So Zach Blair is never really good there, which is weird because like that's where he spends all his time. It'd be funny if you just
stopped the word good.
Well, no, he's good on hard golf courses.
He's never really good.
He's good on hard golf courses. This golf course probably just isn't hard enough for him to make the cut. Average cut line over the last 10 years is minus 2.4. So, like, and the winner's going to be 20. So, like you just need to score more. I like in the basement. I'm going to go with the Canadian. I like Ben Silverman.
Yeah.
All right. I like Big Benny Coles. I think that makes a ton of sense this week. Yep. Tons of birdies, Bermuda grass, drives it straight, will have his hand on the golf ball, and North Carolina guy, stitch endorser, all the above. right? Got all the good hometown vibes.
True.
And then the third guy is another ACC guy. And if you look this guy up, when he came on tour, he's from Dallas. When he came on, I'll give you the price so you and GJ can guess. Hang on. He's down there a ways.
Okay.
Hang on. 6,500.
6,500.
Yeah.
A guy you like.
6,500. Great at Barbasol. That's going to give it away. Dallas guy. And he came on tour. He bombed it. He was a really good ball striker. Still is a very good ball striker, but he's very much improved his putting and his chipping. And as a result, he's been a little bit more consistent out there, and he's been good as of late. Like I said, he was really good at Barbasol. But Vince Whaley, who went to Georgia Tech and has played a lot of this North Carolina golf, mini tour wise and everything, and a good bad weather player, he might be somebody I would pay attention to.
My guess was Vince Whaley, by the way. Two Bens, Wileys and Shambles. Yes, there's never been a good golfer named Ben or a good golfer with last name starting with H ever.
Man, Ben Hogan's really off your list then.
Ben Hogan.
Davis Thompson would be very good this week. We can talk him for sure there.
Really?
Yeah. I think he would, yeah. I mean, he fits. He's in good form.
On the 70 line. I mean, everyone's here. Spieth's here. Minwoo Lee's here. Ben Griffin's here. Taylor Moore's here, 59th.
I don't see this being a good fit for Minwoo Lee, by the way.
No, and he's been not good recently. Not a very accurate driver of the ball. Brendan Todd, love.
Right on the number, right?
Right on the number. Power, Grillo, Perez, Riley, another guy, Putnam, another guy, Kitayama.
So you remember when you brought up Putnam at 3M? And I was like, man, he was great back in March. And then where did he go? And then what did he do at 3M? He was pretty good. Good. So this would be a Putnam type place, put it in position and then put the lights out of it. So, I mean, if you're looking for a flex down there, I can't argue against. I've always been a big Andrew Putnam fan. I think that the guy has a relatively good ceiling for where he always sits on the value board.
Right.
And he's consistent. When he's bad, he's like anybody. He's in that level. He's bad, but when he's good,
I think if you can get Brendan Todd 80, 90 to 1 and or first round leader bet at the same price, I'm taking Brendan Todd.
You guys just love these first round leader bets.
Yeah. Part of the fun, joining the fun.
But I would chase that this week. Why would you make one before you even know when the first round is going to start?
Yeah.
It's good. A first round could take over 2.5 days.
Yeah.
At this rate. So you're going to have a guy that's going to play 18 holes.
I thought you're the director of fun. We like that fun.
Did you see the shirt I'm wearing for you today?
Yeah.
You think I'm not fun?
Well, join the fun.
Right. Well,
hey, go Tim. Keith, extra. Keith's not fun.
Hey, listen. Don't tease the piranha here, okay? You poke the bear.
What?
So anyway. Yeah, you've ever heard that?
No.
Right? A person has an aquarium and there's a piranha in it. And there's always one guy in the party who's like, hey, he's like, look, I wonder how fast a piranha is. He sticks his finger in he's like, not faster than me. Don't tease the piranha, right? Okay. Anyway, don't poke the bear. It's the same thing. Right. Anyway,
right. Go ahead.
I forget where we even were. What were we doing?
We were talking about first round leader. You said,
first round leader. Bet. We don't, at least don't make that bet until you know when the first round is going to start. How about that? Can we just figure out when that's going to happen? And I'm all for fun on a normal Thursday and chase that thing. One of my favorite things to do with a first round leader is if a guy goes out early and he posts a huge score, you bet that guy right at the moment, at the highest number you can get it. And then you hold on for dear life. There's two ways to chase. There's chase and then, hold on. So that bet works out 2/3 of the time, believe it or not. Because it gets harder as the day goes on, usually. More footprints, more wind, all sorts of conditions. But that's neither here nor there. This kind of weather week and everything, I mean, people are going to have conversations about wave advantage and everything. You don't even know when the waves are.
No.
It's crazy. So
I think they start both at the same time on Friday.
I don't think there's any golf on Thursday. If there's a bet for that, I would bet
40-mile-an-hour gusts and full, 3 inches of rain. They're not doing that.
Oh, the last prediction on
It's
Weather
supposed to be a
Underground
mess on Friday.
was 5.5 inches on Thursday.
I mean, do they shut down the course on Friday because of that moisture? Like just in general?
It depends how well it drains in the playing areas, right? Because the rules of golf account for certain things, casual water, and they could play again, lift clean in place. They could do things to the rules in order that they could just play, and they don't need carts, so they don't need any of that. So like they just go out and walk and play. It's yeah. I mean they'll get the tournament in, and this point system is going to work itself out. The top 70 is going to push everybody, and that's where they'll be.
All right, your dumpster dives for who again? Svensson? No, he's not dumpster dive. Ben Cole?
No, I like Coles.
Yeah.
I like Silverman.
Coles. Silverman. Great 3M.
And I like Whaley. Vince Whaley.
Vince Whaley.
Yeah. I think his ball striking comes around, and his short game's been really, really good, and his putting's been really good lately. And like I said,
there was a theory with Vince Whaley years back that we had that he only plays good on golf when he's on an island, like a physical island.
He might be.
And or resort in Mexico, because it's like an island, because the cartels of the resort make you stay there. So there was a theory that we floated that he only plays well on islands. So
I don't know if he's like close to the Prince of Paspalum or anything like that, but Vince is very good because he's such a heavy ball striker. Like Roger Clemens had a heavy fastball. Yeah. Vince hits the ball hard, man. Like, so he's good in the wind, and he's brought his scoring up to the level of his ball striking. He's just somebody I've had my eye on, and in these lesser field events, I think he at the bottom of the board represents someone whose ceiling could go up. That's all. I mean, these guys' ceilings aren't very high down there.
This Brandon? I thought he was joking, but Brandon may have a case. Like low key. Lowry is 100% playing this week, so we can say the top 10 Comcast standings for $1 million.
All right, so trivia question to Brandon: who's next without looking in the Comcast point or in the FedEx Cup points behind him?
I would say Aaron Rye.
No.
Who is it? Cam Young?
It's a guy that grew up in North Carolina.
Chestnut Hadley.
No.
Akshay Bhatia?
Akshay.
Yeah.
Right? So he's probably the only guy that can catch him unless somebody like Cam Young wins and gets like 500 points, right?
Whaley killed an owl with a tee shot.
Probably true.
Bryce Garnett. All right.
Bryce Garnett's not Shane Lowry.
Do you think Scheffler knows where he stands in the top Comcast Tour top 10 business?
Oh, I'm sure Shane Lowry's manager, because those things get worked into.
They get 10% of the fucking cut. Of course they do.
Like the caddy probably knows. So
we should probably play this week.
Yeah, I mean, again, like if we go to that part of the list, of which there's not a lot of characters here, right?
Right.
And it's tough to get points, right? But let's see. Okay. So if Shane's 10, the next guy is Akshay at 15.
Right.
200 and something points behind. So basically, Akshay's got to win or like top 3 it, and Shane's got to like miss the cut.
I can't wait till the Comcast business, not Comcast regular, not Comcast residential, Comcast business CEO comes out and presents the trophy.
Brian
to the 7th place finisher.
Yeah, Brian Harmon is 21, so he's even further back. Oh, Seabez is there. Seabez could take it from him at 22. This is a narrative we should pay attention to.
Okay.
Davis Thompson, 24. Now, I get the point that he's not going to withdraw, right? And that he's totally there to probably collect on that or whatever. But like, is he going to be trying hard enough?
Correct.
I would have thought he would have tried a lot more with us backing him in Paris, and he didn't show up there with like his country's pride on the line versus the Comcast whatever.
Okay, give the Keith Cast Tour top 5 for this week.
The Tour top 5.
No, who are the top 5 plays of the week for you? We'll go one for one. Snake draft.
Okay, I'll go Young.
Okay, I go M1.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Okay.
I knew
Who's
you were
your
going to
two?
say. You're the host of the show. I'm not going to give you him. Of course, I'm going to give you him.
I
That's
can
why
give it to you. I would have pivoted.
Then I'll go.
Go
All
ahead.
right. So it's a snake. So you got to go next.
Okay. Eric Cole, 2.
All right. Aaron Rye, 2.
Wow.
Aha.
Wow.
Now you got to go look at somebody. You got to look for a name.
Yes. All right. Brian Harmon, 3. No, you're 3. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pick Brian Harmon 3.
No, I just did pick 3. Aaron. Oh no, that was my 2. Yeah, that was my 2.
You could pick him if you want. I don't care. You have to have your top 5.
I
We're
mean,
not like
I'm giving you the guys that I'm betting, right?
Okay.
Like I think,
Right,
isn't
fine.
there some level of authenticity to like
Correct. Yes.
what your guys in the Discord want from me? Like,
Yes.
I sleep in
they
shitty
want
motels
fun.
and I
They
go
want
out.
fun.
I'm
They
about
want
to go to
fun.
Memphis in August,
Oh,
right?
God.
And sweat my ass off in order to go in like a possible storm situation in the media center again.
JBC from RPS just moved to Memphis, so God rest his soul. Well, then it's not a snake draft. I'm sorry, Ghost Jam, for not adhering to the actual rules of the snake draft.
I tell you, there's one in every crowd.
You said, I said M. Cole, you're Young Rye. Who's your third?
Cole.
All right, fine. I already picked him. You can't pick him.
Well, you just said I could take Sungjae. I
know.
took Cole instead. I don't want Sungjae.
See, Ghost Jam, he breaks the rules. He's not the director of fun.
I
Brian
am way
Harmon.
more than.
Brian Harmon 3.
Okay.
Number 4, Cam Young. I'll scratched out. Who did I scratch out? Svensson or Seamus Power? Young. I'll go Cam Young 4.
Whew, man.
I'm going to surprise you so bad with the 5th pick. It's going to come out of absolute left field.
Well, we better save time for that for discussion because I'm going to need to hear some sort of explanation.
He may be my 1 pick.
I like Taylor Moore this week. I mean, I'm
Okay.
going with the guys that we talked about. Why would I change my mind now?
Because it's fun. That's
There's no such thing as halfway crooks, man. You either doing the job or you're not.
That's right. Who's your 5th? Who's your 5th and final?
Spawn over Svensson. Although I do like Svensson, but
Let me tell you what. I may invert this list. I'll go my 5th pick from Australia, Cam Davis.
all right.
Cam Davis. What was he at 3M? He almost won at 3M.
Yeah, I mean, this is his time of year. He's good at Rocket, good at 3M, good at Wyndham. He's good in the fall.
Won
he
the
comes
Rocket
around in January, and everybody wants to bet him, and then the guy claims he's injured.
3 top 25s, 1 top 10 last year. Can absolutely mash the ball off the tee.
Yeah.
And he didn't say Webb. Well, Webb was 6th. No, I love Cam Davis. I mean, that tanning bed is getting to Wiley's brain. I don't have a fucking tanning bed, Michael Cox.
Come on, that's all like Trump cream, guys.
No, it's not.
The guy doesn't sit on a bed. He's a working man.
I was in Las Vegas, flex. Got a little tan. It's 118 degrees out there.
I bet.
Sorry, Michael. I have melanin in my skin.
Yeah, I have a golfer's tan. That's why my forehead's white and my cheeks are red, burnt.
Yeah. Man, I may pick Cam Davis to win.
Yeah, it's a free country.
You can do what you want.
At least until the election.
You're free to be an idiot.
Yes, you are. We all are,
All right. Hour 1. You got to go.
We're currently led by idiots, so that's fine. It's
New Jersey.
It's par for the course, yes.
Any final thoughts?
Man, you're going to ask me the usual leave question, I'm sure. I'm torn between Rye and Cole. Be one of those two.
And you're going to where next week?
Memphis.
That's the BM. No, that's the BMW.
No, it's the Hey Jude. St. Jude, sorry.
St. Jude is first for the top 7?
Oh, yeah. Then we go to the BMW, which is in Colorado.
That's
so everyone that wants to do content research for Colorado, that's the old International, which is no longer on tour, but that's the old Stableford event.
God, St. Jude is going to be so fucking hot. Oh my God!
Don't you remember last year the final round,
dude? Yes,
Lucas Glover's pants. You don't remember it?
Yeah, they were swamp ass.
Oh yeah, you remember the playoff? It was Lucas, Cantley, and swamp ass. That was it.
You should have kicked him off the tour. It was gross.
Oh, that was really gross. That was really gross.
Men are so gross.
Oh God, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Later, boys.